Today we're going to be talking about a movie that fits in a lot of different genres. It's a cross-genre picture, it's got some buddy cop in there, it's got some police procedural, it's got some horror elements, it's got some sci-fi elements, it's got body-snatching alien invasions. So what I want you to tell me down in the comments is, what is your favorite cross-genre picture? Bonus points, of course, if at least part of the movie is a horror movie. Hello again, I'm Adam Caesar, this is Project Black T-Shirt. I'm back again with another newer release, Blu Ray review. We're going to be talking about The Hidden today, and as always, I'm going to have a book recommendation at the end of this video, so if you like horror and if you like reading, which you should like both, you're going to want to stick around. The Hidden is a film that came out in 1987. It is directed by Sholder, and it is a movie that I've been hearing about for quite a long time. It's a movie that when I released my first book, which is a body-snatching alien invasion 80s kind of nostalgia riff, a few people, chief among them Jeremy Robert Johnson, kind of came out of the woodwork to be like, oh, it's like The Hidden, which I actually hadn't seen at that point. And I, quick little IMDb and be like, oh, this movie's got, Kyle MacLachlan and Michael Nouri as buddy cops fighting aliens. It's something I gotta see. Well, there was no kind of proper disc release of it for a long time. I think there was like a New Line one in 2000, but this just recently came out through Warner's Archive collection, which is, it used to be kind of print-on-demand, small print runs, but I think they're kind of more and more available now. You can get this on Amazon. I actually got this from Diabolic DVD, which is a great indie movie reseller, movie provider. I'll put those links in the comments. But I think it was worth the wait, because I feel like it was like 5 or 6 years ago that I was first told about The Hidden. It was first kind of put on my radar, and boy oh boy did it live up to that weight. This movie is not your little smaller cult picture, even though on the commentary track Sholder keeps talking about like the low budget they had. It is a movie where it looks like $1 million. The Roger Ebert quote on the back calls it a cross between Invasion of the Body Snatchers and the Terminator, which is very, very accurate. You get heavy kind of James Cameron riffs in here, but the photography is wonderful. The direction's great. There's some incredible car chases, incredible shootouts. It really does feel like a kind of have your cake and eat it too type of movie. It is a fantastic 80s buddy cop action picture with incredible squibs and all these different, kind of over-the-top 80s guns. At one point, the bad guy has like a shotgun, a machine gun that's just like blowing holes in cop cars and stuff. So it's got that action feel to it, that pulp action feel to it. But it also has a really great body horror alien invasion conceit, where you have a single alien taking over a lot of different people, and as it kind of uses up the bodies, as the bodies sustain enough damage and they're like bullet ridden and stuff like that, it just hops into another body at a certain point, hopping into a dog, which is, how do you not want to see this movie after that? But and then Kyle MacLachlan and Michael Nouri are charged with finding it. Kyle MacLachlan here playing a FBI agent, and I don't know if he's ever played an FBI agent before, but he should look into that. It's a good look for him. The soundtrack's great, the direction's great, the pacing of it is great. It does get a little tiny bit wonky there, because you do have like almost like one too many scenes where the alien escapes and goes into another dude, and it does build towards this ending that is seeded throughout, that you're like, oh, it's gonna go this really dark kind of satirical way, and it does in a way, but without spoiling it, you'll see. If you haven't seen this movie, if you're like me and you haven't seen this movie, like, you really, really have to check it out. When I posted that I was watching this, a bunch of people kind of spoke up, and it doesn't surprise me, but it was a bigger release film in 1987, so I'm a little younger, so I didn't get to see it in the theater, and I didn't kind of know of its existence because it's kind of gone away. It's a little unheralded film at this point, but I think it's going to come back in a big way with this Blu Ray release. So like, if you've seen it before, if you remember it, I'm betting it's just as good as you remember, because it's not a film that feels dated. It's a film that really, really holds up. Special effects are incredibly solid. You don't see a whole lot of the creature, but there's one kind of standout scene where you do see it, and it's an incredible special effects sequence. Like it's got a lot of puppetry, a lot of kind of dummy stand-ins for actors, and it looks really, really, really good. Another great thing about this movie, and there's something that's going to, if you're a horror fan, especially if you're like a horror fan that goes to conventions, this movie is basically a revolving door of great late 80s character actors, some of them kind of at their peak, and then some of them really, really early in their careers. And it happens basically like every 15 minutes. You're just like, oh, it's Clu Gulager. Oh, it's Lin Shaye. Oh, I know that voice because you hear him before you see him. Oh, it's Danny Trejo. There's Ted White. There's a lot of different, very familiar faces for horror fans that show up, that pop up in this movie, just for, you know, quick little bit parts. But it gives it this like great texture of especially if you're watching the first time like me, of like, how did I miss this movie? Where has this movie been all my life? So yeah, nothing like bad to say about it. As I mentioned, there is a commentary track. There is a quick little thing with special effects footage where Jack Sholder basically talks about like how they did certain things. So as far as the Warner Archive collection releases are usually kind of bare bones, but you're getting some value with this one. I rewatched it with the commentary on while I was doing something else. It's well worth picking up. I think it's like $20 or something like that. For this week's book recommendation, since we're talking about something that mixes up a lot of genres kind of in a blender, I want to talk to you about Matthew M. Bartlett's Gateways to Abomination. And usually I'd have a paperback to hold up and like show to the camera, and I do have a paperback in this book. I just can't find it. So I read it on Kindle because that's how I do most of my reading anyway. If you are a weird fiction fan, or if you like folk horror, this is kind of the perfect mashup of the two. Bartlett is a New England writer, and he basically has his very, very own style, his own flair. It's rare these days to find someone that's not just doing a riff like a Stephen King riff, or a Lovecraft riff, or a Shirley Jackson riff. Matthew Bartlett feels to me, even though he's like working in the weird fiction sphere, he feels to me like he's kind of like one of the true originals. He's doing his own stuff, and this book, Gateways to an Abomination, is a collection. It is an anthology, but it reads like a novel. I would not recommend that you pick it up and just start jumping around to the stories. Read it in order. Read it like you would a novel, because it has settings in common, and it has themes in common, and things pop in and out. There's this like evil radios, and you'll see. You're gonna really like it if you like movies like The Witch, if you like movies like Blood on Satan's Claw, and if you wish those things were a little weirder, both in the capital W sense and actually the small w sense, because there is a real bizarro streak to some of Bartlett's stories, even though I don't think he like associates himself with the bizarro movement. I get shades of that from him, and it's really commendable because he does pick up a lot of different things. Putting him along with my like kind of favorite short story writers like Livia Llewellyn and Jeremy Robert Johnson and Larry Barron and Stephen Graham Jones. He's a great short story writer, and this is a great place to start, then move on to his other collection, Creeping Waves. The movie today was The Hidden, and Matthew Bartlett's collection, Gateways to Abomination. As always, I'll put links down in the description. And if you want to find out more about me, Adam Caesar, about any of my books, I wrote an Adventure Time comic at one point, isn't that exciting? If you want to find out about any of my books, you can go down into the links in the description, sign up for my mailing list, I'll send you a free ebook. Got all those links, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, all that good stuff. If you like this video, please hit like, and if you really like this video, please subscribe and go check out my other stuff. I do similar stuff to this, sometimes lists, sometimes book forward, sometimes movie forward, but always about the horror genre. It's great seeing you guys again. I won't be so long posting another video next time. See you next week.